And during this minute, we experiment with concentration. Something very, very simple. We give ourselves a very neutral image, like sky. For this minute, let us see an image of sky with the eye of the mind. We see it in color, as if we are in that sky. And we stay in that experience no matter what. It may be with eyes open, eyes closed, but mind is seeing that sky. Thank you. We got this extraordinary faculty of the mind, and mind creates thoughts, whether we like it or not. It is like a constant. There are thoughts. We think, therefore we exist. And normally we don't have any attention on the mind. So the mind is creating its own program, and so lots of our thoughts are random thoughts, which means you didn't even choose them. You think of a cat, you start thinking of the cat. And some psychology departments, universities, they say that 90% of our thoughts are cyclical thoughts. So we think of the same thing over and over again. So this is creating a complete inefficient system. Mind-brain system becomes inefficient. So in this, if you create even 1 minute where you are stopping this cyclical thought, you give a very clear program to the mind. During that minute, there are no other thoughts. And when the cyclical thoughts stop, for the next 20 minutes, next half an hour, they will remain less. They don't get a momentum straight away. So your cyclical thoughts will be less, and it means you will be more efficient in whatever you are doing. Something so simple, anyone can put into practice. But that 1 minute should be proper 1 minute. Really experiment with it. Giving a mind something very neutral. We thought of sky this time. It can be any other thought. It can be a bird, you think. But stay in that experience. Don't go in any other thoughts. Shall we experiment? Let's come back to it again. As was said, you may close your eyes, but the concentration is the priority. And even if you are hearing the words, do not let go of that experience of the sky. Starting from now. We are in that region of light and color. region beyond. Thank you. Today's subject for us is connected with the prince and the beggar. We are obviously talking about the consciousness within us, with the higher consciousness and the lower consciousness that is within us. We are going to see this. And I will try and see if this system works, and if I draw some sketches. Let us see if you can see these sketches. And some simple thing for us to know. Some philosophers like Plato, he says, we do not know that we do not know. It was just one beautiful insight. And what he means by that is we have moved into a state, we have come to such a level that we might not even know how far we have changed. If someone is going in a upside down position and doesn't even know that he's upside down, it's something like that. Gradually you change your direction and it appears all normal. It might be, your house or your car. Gradually things change. It can become dirty and you don't realize you are adapted to it gradually. Until someone shows you the original color, what it was on the first day, then you see what a contrast it was. But otherwise it has been a gradual drop. Something similar happens in our consciousness. Gradual drop, and we think we are very civilized, we have done so much progress, we are better than our ancestors. This kind of attitude is there within us. So we'll get a little bit idea about this consciousness within us. For this, first I need to show just a representation of our physical world. This is what is shown here, the image of a box. This represents the physical world. And this box comes with a label. And the label is, it is unpredictable. Everything within this is unpredictable, which is, we are talking about this world. We don't know what is to happen to our place and body, and everything is unpredictable. And if you create even the slightest attachment there, what will happen? If something is unpredictable and you create dependency on it, what will happen? You will be yourself insecure, because you are relying upon something that is unpredictable. So here is the world. Anyone has created any dependency in this world? Anyone has created any attachments? Our life is within that box. This is the way we are leading our life at present. And on top of this, we create ego within this. We define ourselves based on things within this world. And as we are doing this, our inner mentality is seriously insecure. Subconscious insecurity is constant because everything, we can lose everything. That is what we feel at a subconscious level. Because we rely upon it, we define ourselves based upon it. The things within it gives us self-respect. Our possessions are there, relations are there. When we are in that mind, insecure mind, that creates within us the victim mentality. We feel we are potential victims. Anyone can break something, anyone can say something. I'm a victim. Understand, no? So someone can criticize this, and I'm a victim. So this is what is the guaranteed result of that mind. We represent that life of attachment by this spiral, downward spiral. My, more, my, that kind of life. And what is the nature of a victim? One who is in a victim mentality, what will be his behavior? What is the dominant nature of a victim? He is looking for dangers. One who is in a victim mentality, he is a victim, so he has to look for dangers. So if 10 things are going right in his life, one going wrong, he will have more attention on that one that is wrong. If someone has done 100 good things to you, but one wrong thing, he will focus on that one wrong thing. As a result, his life becomes negative. The negative things in the life becomes important. That is what he thinks about. He doesn't forget these things. Victim has to remember. He has got all the files, all the wrong things people have done. So, and that is mentality is this. Victim always remains a beggar. He wants, please praise me, please give me something, give me respect, give me regard. I'm a victim. The other thing that victim happens, he blames. Because he's a victim, you are the cause of his problem. He finds people whom he can blame because he's the victim. It appears to be a small thing, but wars are happening in the world because of the victim. Understand, no? People see if you talk to them, they will say they are victims. Wherever there are wars going on, everyone says. But this is the mentality of the world when we are going in that direction. Is it possible to change it? Is it possible, let me ask a question, is it possible to be in this world, with a job and your relations, family, money, and have zero attachment? Is it possible? Who thinks it is possible? Raise your hands. Who feels it is impossible? Yeah. So to be in this world, to be with money also, bank account, and zero attachments, is it possible? And now those who raise hands, you can tell me how. How is it possible? Zero attachments means you don't use the label "my" to anything to start with. That is big attachment. And to be with the family, children, and no attachment. Some have raised hands. Tell me how. How is it possible? Yeah? Good, yeah. Sure. In essence, message, we have the option to see the same world as a guest. I can see myself as a guest. I can be in a place somewhere. I could be using things, and I'm using things, but know that nothing there belongs to me. I may be a guest here for 1 hour, 2 hours, I'm here. but I don't own anything here. I'm using this, but I don't have attachment to this. So if I can be a guest for 1 hour, I can be a guest for 100 years. It is the way you look at things. So if you have the attitude, you are a guest on this planet, then you change yourself. You have an option to have a very different mentality. Are we guests? Are we guests on this planet? And has anyone got plans to stay here? If you are not making those plans, then we all are guests. We have guaranteed exit. And that is good thing to know. Guests, there's nothing wrong. I am a guest here right now. It is nice to be a guest. I don't need to, wherever I go, I don't want to say that this is me, mine, I. No, guest is nice. So guest on this planet. If we are seeing the truth, and when we come in truth, that is more important. And we have an exit, guaranteed exit. So that makes me a guest. And when we are having this guest perspective, you become completely free from this life of attachments and bondages. When you become completely free, what happens? You find yourself very secure. Opposite. You got nothing to lose. Who enjoys this city more? Local people or tourists? Tourists. Because tourists are guests. Tourists are not in the spiral. So they enjoy, they take photographs. Otherwise, local people are seeing the same places, but they are not enjoying the same way. It's a different mind. They are into that, maybe 1%, maybe 10% of that victim mentality has come in, and that reduces the enjoyment. And when we are secure, it brings out the best in any person. Even your dog or cat, make them secure. You bring out the best. They want to play. They are happy. Make them insecure. They want to bark and bite. So same thing for human beings. Same thing happens with us. When we are secure, we experience peace. When we are secure, we experience love. You can love when you are secure. You will find you can't love. Someone makes you insecure, love becomes less. Some simple thing. All you have done is change the perspective, that you are a guest. Now to bring about this deep change, yeah? Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. So when we are seeing this world, we said secure and insecure. That's better, yeah. The guest is very subtle. That's why I was drawing this. So here, when we are in this secure space, it brings out the best, and you experience your peace and your own lightness. You don't need kicks. You are experiencing this from within you. Our natural nature is of happiness. All that's required is experiencing that secure feeling. We said, our starting position is we are very much in that spiral, and we can't change it by one gathering like this. One talk will not change our mentality, forever. But we can create 1 minute. And 1 minute, see yourself as a guest. Guest on this planet, guest in this body. This is not mine. I am a guest. So here we are creating this 1 minute. For 1 minute you are seeing yourself as a guest. We like this word very much. The invisible traveler. Worth, if you are writing down, worth writing this down. Invisible traveler. And another expression, detached involvement. That's where we want to be. We want to be involved. We don't want to run away from here. We are like I am right now here, but only thing I want to avoid is this victim mentality and the beggar mentality. I want to be free from that. Then life will be better. Everyone wants a good quality of life, but if the inner programming is of the victim, it just lowers the quality of your life. So here, if you come in that space of detached involvement, that is exactly what guest is doing, then you become completely free from that beggar and victim mentality. You internally feel you are full. That is what you will experience. Each minute you are practicing this. For 1 minute, that invisible traveler is visiting this world. Try and grasp this. Invisible traveler associated with this, and he has an exit. He's just flying past, just associated, just come to say hello, and you are going. And no time to claim things, no time to cling to anything. That is good space to grasp. Deep inside you realize you got nothing to lose. And you need nothing from there. You are that invisible traveler. You discover that higher consciousness during that minute. And as you are doing this, you are going up the spiral. You are bringing about this deeper transformation. Each minute you are creating this, you will continue to bring about this deeper change. And as was said, when you are secure, secure person experiences peace, secure person experiences love, secure person experiences happiness. When you're secure, you have better concentration. Secure person has better clarity. But it also means there is no reason for sorrows and anxieties. There is no reason for any of those things. He feels internally full. That's why the image of the prince. Prince is one who feels full and not internally. Most refined treasures, not gold, not diamonds, not cryptocurrency. What's the most refined treasures? Most refined treasures are what is shown here. These are the most refined treasures. If you are looking for gold, say someone says is giving you gold, you say yes, I want gold. Why? You feel through that gold you can buy security. Through that gold you can buy happiness or peace or love. That's what you feel. Because gold itself is useless. You can't even eat it. But your ultimate currency you are looking for is something different. Now that helps us to come to the subject, of this prince and the beggar. Imagine in one royal family, some country, there is a prince, and the king and the queen loves him. He owns the whole kingdom, and he comes to another place. He comes to Coventry, and he is sort of involved with the activities of Coventry, and gradually forgets that he is the prince. Understand us? There is so much going on, that drawn into the life and drama, and forgets that he is the prince. So if he forgets he is the prince, then he is nobody. So he has to rely upon someone else giving him things, and then he's happy. Then I'm talking. Let us, have this thought experiment. Try and grasp this scenario. That prince has forgotten he is a prince. And now, if he has got nothing, he then has to beg from others, have you got something for me? And some give him coins, and he's happy. When he gets a big coin, he is very happy. When he loses a coin, he is very unhappy. Understand? So he is prince. He owns the kingdom right now. But he behaves like a beggar. He has happiness like a beggar. He wakes up as a beggar. He spends his day as a beggar. He goes to bed as a beggar. He has happiness of a beggar also. When he gets coins, he has happiness. He has sorrows as a beggar. He has no thought of the prince at all. Days go past, months go past, years go past. He leads the life of a beggar. And the mind is of a beggar. So is he a beggar or is he a prince? Beggar? The king is waiting for him. King is waiting for the prince. He wants the kingdom right now. So is he a prince or is he a beggar? Someone needs to remind him. So someone goes to him and tells him, you are a prince, do you know that? He says, I'm a prince? Thank you very much. Have you got a coin? So the problem is not just forgetting something deeper. It's a spell. Spell is, you are into that. The problem is much deeper. So what will you do now? You told him you're a prince. He says, okay, but give me a coin. What is your way to help him discover the prince? Okay, you might tell him, okay, come and sit here, 1 hour meditation, sit in this special room. You are the king, I am the prince. He repeats this, for a whole hour, I am the prince, I am the prince. And as soon as he comes out of the room, he says, coins. Give me some coins. He does it every day. He goes there, sits there. I'm a prince, I'm a prince. He repeats it, you are a king. And then he comes out, coins. So what are your methods to help him discover the prince? Have you got any method? As was said, this is the story of each and every one. This is what we are saying. The beggar is not begging for the coins, that is one, but the bigger begging is begging for, what is the begging that is happening in this world? They are begging for love, begging for company, begging for respect, power, and maybe gross begging also, but it is a world of begging that is going on. But important message is that they are the princes. Right now, each and everyone is a prince, and the prince is begging. Prince is begging for the things that he already got. That example of that prince, he owns the whole kingdom, and he is begging for the coins. This is the scenario of each and everyone. So, what is your method now to help this beggar? Connect him to the king. Yeah, okay. Okay, let us ask, who will be in a good position to help him come out of this begging? To discover the prince. Who is in a good position? King. King will be in a good position. Why? Okay, some others go to him, tell him you are a prince. He says, give me a coin. So you end up giving him a coin. Understand now? King will come. King will say, you are a prince. Come home. He says, okay, I'm coming, but I'm bringing my coins, my collection. He will say, no, drop these coins, don't touch this, drop them here. He says, okay, but come and I'll show you collection of my junk. He says, no, I'm not going to see that. You drop it, come out of this now. When king is dealing with him, he sees him as a prince and he doesn't see him as a beggar at all. Body language is not that you are a beggar. The language at all levels is that you are a prince. Understand? Others go, tell him you are a prince and also treat him as a beggar. You are giving a coin, you are treating him as a beggar. Understand, no? And that reinforces his position as a beggar. And you are looking around his junk collection, taking photographs of his junk. He said, come tomorrow for lesson 2. I will show you my other junk. So here, the prince will be helped if the king comes, if the queen comes. If you are very convinced, then it has power to reach the prince. It is a tough, what you are dealing with is a tough job. And you have to be very convinced in this. When we are talking about beggar, it is not just begging, that is not the only behavior of the beggar. Beggar is a bigger syndrome, beggar syndrome. One who is a beggar, he will be comparing with other beggars. He will be sometimes arrogant about what he has got. He may be, all the different behaviors, sometimes sad, sometimes, sulking. That beggar syndrome, different manifestations of the beggar, that is going on. As was said, beggar happiness also. Beggar may get many coins, and so there is beggar happiness. In myself, I have seen, and it is good for us to see this different begging that goes on. I have seen in myself the begging for justice. Some kind of fairness, some kind of justice. For others or for myself also, begging for justice. Is it wrong to ask for justice? Is it begging? It is right to ask for justice? Yeah. Here we are saying it is begging. Why? Why is it begging? When the prince is awake, this is what spiritual message is. When the prince is awake, he knows of his immortality. He knows of his eternal reality. When the prince is awake, he knows that his world is beyond harm. No one can change anything of his. He knows this. He knows he is very lucky. He also knows everyone is lucky. No injustice can come to him ever at any level. That's why never a victim, never a beggar, if he is awake. And all this, what is happening in the physical world, he knows that that is all happening in that temporary story. It's a theater. That's the way he sees it. There's a script, some Cinderella script going on. Ugly sister comes, ugly sister goes. That is the script going on. He's playing the part of Cinderella. The actor doesn't feel there is any injustice happening to him. Never a victim, never a beggar. One who is conscious, prince that is conscious, he doesn't feel that. Only when the prince is unconscious, he will be thinking of the injustice that can come to him. Am I clear? So that is one thing I have observed in myself. The begging for injustice that happens. Another begging that is observed is begging for manners. What I mean by that is others should have manners. That is the begging. My life will be better if everyone else have got very high manners. It is good for me. That is my begging. One who is a prince is not bothered about whether others have manners or others have values. He is not begging. It is not his problem. Am I clear? Do you feel that it is wrong to have? Do you still feel to ask for justice is begging? Do you feel that? But to observe this subtle begging that is going on. Only when we observe it, we can remove the beggar. If it is not even observed, that beggar can carry on whole life, and not even realize that begging is going on. Let me give an example of this manners. Let us say a prince comes to Leicester, some Prince William, some prince comes. He will come to do some charity work, some inauguration, distribute gifts or prizes. He goes. Agree? He comes for some task and he goes. Someone tells him on that street, all people are misers, on that street. He will say, okay, he will think of how they can be helped. But, he is light about it. Some people are generous, some are misers. He will go. He will do his duty and he will go. A beggar comes. And you tell him, on that street, people are miser. Everyone is a miser on that street. For the beggar, it is his problem. It is not that it is just they are misers. It becomes his problem. He will say, why are they misers? We shouldn't be misers. Am I clear? It is a problem. Only for the beggar it is a problem. For the prince it is not a problem. Someone is a miser. So here also, someone has got no virtues. Someone has getting angry. someone is having no values, it is not your problem, it is not my problem, it is his problem. Understand? No? But if there is a beggar in me, it becomes my problem. So here, begging for manners, begging for values, begging for qualities, that is another begging. And it is nice. Once you have observed it, you are able to stop it. Only when you have observed, you can stop it. And then you find you can accept variety in this world. Everything is going on, it is variety. But internally, it doesn't disturb you. Otherwise, beggar mentality, it disturbs you. Okay, another question. Which beggar it will be difficult for you to help them wake up? We said there is a beggar world. We have created a world where everyone is begging and everyone thinking they are victims. This is the way we are talking about billions, 8 billion. We are all in that direction. So which beggar you will have difficulty to get them out of this begging? And when will it be easy to get them out? You want to tell them, you tell them you are a prince, that. Which beggar will be very difficult? The beggars who are successful beggars, it will be more difficult to get them out. Understand? Said a beggar was hoping to get 5 coins, and he found a place very close to the church, and lots of people coming out of the church, so much love and mercy. He's getting 50 coins, and you tell him stop begging, he will say, what are you telling? I am success. Look at this. I am so lucky. You are telling me to stop this business. He will think it is you are not thinking clearly. So successful beggars will have more difficulty to come out of this. So in this ordinary life, in this drama-based life, if someone thinks he is a success, he will be more likely to stay there. Those who feel they are not so successful as beggars, they haven't got a huge collection of junk, they are more likely to come out of that spell, the victim and the beggar spell. You want to say anything? It will be nice if you want to ask anything. Is it all colors are okay and you can see okay? There is one organization in India, and I have great respect for this organization. I don't know if it still continues. And in this organization, there are scientists and those from that background, and they go to the communities and think of an invention for that community. For example, in one area, they are close to water, another area, they are close to some rocks, different things going on. And they know what can be done, what kind of industry can be developed in that area. Because there are scientists, there are experts, they know something can be transformed, and there is a demand in other parts of the world. And by doing this, they were able to change the lives of these people. And they have employment, and they have prosperity, and they are saving money. There is communal fund And with that fund, they are building libraries and they are building schools. So they got enthusiasm and they got this sort of idea of their progress. And some tourist might come, and tourist says, "You are doing such amazing thing. I want to give my $10,000." And they say, "Do something like this in your city. Do something like this in New York." They don't accept one penny from anyone. That is what makes it very special, because they have removed the beggar. The beggar mind is removed. Otherwise, it is more difficult to remove this beggar. To remove poverty is easy, but to remove this inner beggar is more difficult. So that is a big success in that. You wanted to say something? Yeah?
No. Is it on? Yeah. I was just saying, you're saying why would that feeling of security there, and because they're feeling very secure, they're getting pleasure. It's obviously getting pleasure out of it. It's kind of hedonistic. There's a hedonistic feeling that success is, the begging is good. They feel that the begging is good because they're getting success out of it. There's a feeling of, a hedonistic feeling of pleasure.
Yeah.
And you're saying that there's some kind of, that the opposite to that is freedom. If it's freedom, then you need freedom of non-desire, of inner peace, is also hedonistic. It's a feeling of pleasure as well, is it?
Yeah.
You have to develop it, because most people surely don't feel the pleasure of that, of not having anything, the freedom of not having anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For most people, it's not hedonistic, it's not a pleasurable feeling. But if you're on the spiritual path, you've got to develop it as a pleasurable, hedonistic feeling.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, this image that is seen here, what we are seeing, our starting position is of happiness. And we might not use the word hedonistic at that level. It is our natural state, is of inner happiness. When it is supersensuous happiness, that is very natural, that is higher. Only when we come in the physical world, what is shown here, and then we look for pleasures at that level, that is not supersensuous. And then we may use the word hedonistic for that, and it is coming from there. Yeah, nice. Thank you. So we are seeing this. Any other thoughts based on this? Prince. We are seeing that there is a prince there, and he is into this, into this state, gradually drawn into this mind, of the attachments. It all starts with attachments until he ends up into the beggar mentality. And then he doesn't even know that what he has lost. We said at the beginning, the Plato's quote, that we don't know that we don't know. That they don't even know that they are, right now they are the princes. They are immortal, and they're very, very lucky. They can't see this. They feel that they need some little, position here and some praise here, and that is what they rely upon. They are waiting for the coins to come. Now, in this connection with the beggar mentality, one principle for us to know, that beggar blocks the prince. The beggar within us it blocks the prince. In other words, each and everyone is very, very lucky. That's what we are saying right from the beginning. Starting position is they are immortal and they are from the family of God. And happiness is inside them. Contentment is their nature. They are beings of love and they belong to the divine family of souls. Such is their truth. But they can't experience this. And the reason they can't experience this, there's a beggar, and the beggar blocks the prince. Shall I show you? Shall I demonstrate how beggar blocks the prince? You all can set up an experiment to see this, the beggar mentality, how beggar blocks the prince. Do you want to take part in this experiment? It's a little expensive experiment. So what you do, there may be some street where there are beggars. And it's possible, no? In the Leicester. There is a beggar sitting there, and there is a basket, and some coins in that basket. Maybe a dog nearby. So you are going there in your experiment. Place 4 notes of 50 pounds in his basket. As I said, it is a little expensive experiment. Place 4 notes. So you are living there, and just observe what he's going to do next. What do you think he will do? I have actually seen what is happening in these situations. He will take those notes away very quickly and keep small coins in the basket, and he will sit there. He will not go home. He will sit there. And the case that I saw, one girl, we thought she was injured, and we thought she might need some help, and she took away the coins, put them the notes and coins, that was given, and she had the same face as if she has got nothing. Next minute, for next people who are coming, beggar mentality is such. They have learned that to get success, you have to be empty. You have to show everyone, convince everyone that you are a misery and you are a total disaster. Then there is more success. That's what they have learned. This is their churning, that they are creative in this, how to convince others, how to make faces that convinces people that you are hungry and you are empty. Understand, no? And then there is success. That's what they have learned. Can you imagine if this is what your programming is day in and day out? You end up convincing yourselves that you are empty and you are a misery and you are the disaster. That is what is going on. Go to a beggar and say, let us open your box. Let us see how many coins you got. Will he like it? He won't like it. He will think you are a troublemaker. Because that mentality, beggar mentality, doesn't want to see that he has got collection. He wants to see the emptiness. He doesn't want to see the fullness. Am I clear? Because he knows that more empty, there is success. In inner wiring is like this, that more empty, there is success. One friend of ours, in another country, some Eastern European country, he's a plastic surgeon and head of the department in the hospital there. So there's one lady begging there. He says each time he would be at the traffic lights, that lady used to come for begging, and she had a scar on the face. So one day he gave her his card and said, come to this clinic anytime, any day this week, come to this clinic. We'll operate on you. We'll make your face good. Remove this scar. She understood what he's telling. And he says, now she begs there, but she doesn't come to him. She avoids him completely. She never came, but she thinks that he's a troublemaker. He might remove her scar. So here, this society we are talking about, with this beggar mentality that is there, beggar mindset, that is a big block to your knowledge. What are you telling everyone? Your knowledge is you are a prince. That is what you are telling everyone. You belong to the King of Kings. You are immortal. You got a home. This is your message, what is shown there on the screen. But there is a beggar there underneath. Beggar thinks you are a troublemaker. You are telling him that he has got treasures, that he is lucky, and that he is immortal. It is opposite to the program of the beggar. And you are at the absolute problem there, right at the first step. The beggar mentality blocks the prince. And it is the same problem with each one of us. And this is why, on one hand, we have to address this prince, but equally important is to remove the beggar. Separate attention is required to remove that beggar mentality. Am I clear? How do you make the prince, how to nourish the prince? What is your method? How I can nourish that mentality of the prince? By that we are really saying how to see your own treasures, what you have got, how you can see this. This is what we want, a good method to see. One word that we hear in our morning readings, in the Murlis that we hear, is the aspect of being a donor. You heard this word, be a donor. And I like this word, Mahadani, great donor. Mahadani. So great donor. What happens with the donor, one who is a great donor? What happens? I like this one simple example. Let us say you are in your house, you got 5 people in the family, and you got enough on your table. And there's some food in the fridge. There's enough for the family. And suddenly your friends arrive. It is a lunchtime, and suddenly your friends arrive. 30 of them. They are so happy to see you. Oh, so nice, but they are also hungry. And pizza shops are closed, so you can't buy something quickly. What will be your next thought? Suddenly you have to feed them all. What will be your thought? Let's cook together. Yes, that your next thought will be, what else is in the house? That is what your thought will be now, because you have to feed them. Ordinarily, you don't have to think about other things because enough food on the table there. But now that you have to feed 30 people, you it forces you to go to the kitchen store. And when you go to the kitchen store, you discover food that you had forgotten about. You bought it for the destruction. And then it was there, not touched for a long time. And now you discover, oh, I had forgotten. I had not been there for a long time. Now you can use it for others, you can use it for yourself. Understand, no? What made you discover it? Because you are forced. You are forced to discover because of giving. You are forced to give. That's what made you discover what you already got. The same principle applies at a subtle level. Each one is a prince already. Spiritual message is that each one is a prince. You've got most refined treasures, big treasures and unlimited treasures. Worth writing this down. Each one already got most refined treasures and unlimited treasures. But there is enough on the table. You don't easily go there. Normally you don't need to go there in Leicester. There is lots of food, and there are lots of shops selling things. There is enough on the table. So here you have to find a way how you can push yourselves. Not if someone is doing this, then he is clever. At a spiritual level, at a subtle level, see how you can make this effort. Take challenges to give. At the subtle treasures. Gross treasures, we know. Many are doing this at gross treasures. Here we are talking about subtle treasures. And more you do this, you will discover what you already got. There are some countries on this planet, they play a prominent role on the planet, but they got no natural resources. One country is Taiwan is one of them. Israel is another country. So there are some countries on this planet, they don't have natural resources, but they still play an important role on the planet in different ways. But I think this country, England, could be one of the countries because we don't have natural resources, but playing an important role. And what happened with these countries? Because they don't have natural resources, they have to dig deeper. Understand, no? And when you dig deeper, you discover the gold. You discover the other treasures. So here we have to dig deeper and push yourselves. Those who lead easy, comfortable life, then you don't discover the treasures you have. If you push yourselves in the process of giving, in this case, Mahadani, remember this word, great donor, he ends up discovering the prince. It is not an aspect of just knowing the word prince. We are talking about prince, yes, of course, we are prince. But to experience the treasures of the prince is another game. And in this we have to, on one hand, remove the beggar, stop the beggar, and also discover how to revive the prince also. I'll tell you one story, and then after that we'll have a workshop, some discussion. Is that okay? So, do you like a story? In this story, one man comes running to the top of the mountain in Loughborough. And on the top of the mountain, there was one monk. So he goes to that monk and says, "Stone, stone, where is the stone?" So that monk is a bit surprised by this sudden, chant of the stone demand. So Then this man says, that night he had a dream. And in the dream, God told him, go to that mountain. And on that mountain, you will see a monk. That monk will give you a stone. That stone will make you rich forever. So he said, I left straight away. Did not wait for it. Came to Leicester straight. And as I was told, you are that monk. I don't expect many monks here. You are the monk here on this mountain. So where is that stone? So this monk said, now I know what you're talking about. There is a stone under that tree. That is for you. That stone will make you rich. So he goes to that tree, and there was a stone, big stone. But that stone was not an ordinary stone. That was a diamond. He said, I always knew God, He is merciful, and He will, He's kind. So he had come with his bag and all prepared. So he put that stone in his bag, went home as quickly as possible. He came back again after 1 week, again to Leicester. Why? Yeah, he comes to the monk and he says, possibly I am the richest man in the town. And no one can have a diamond like this. So I am possibly very, very rich. But whole week I didn't sleep. I can't get sleep the whole night. And I am having panic attacks. I am worried about this diamond. He says, I'm not leaving my house because there is a diamond in this house. How can I come out, go anywhere? I don't want anyone to come to my house because they might see this diamond. He says, I'm in big trouble since this diamond. And he asks the monk, what wealth have you got that allowed you to give away that stone? You had this diamond and you are sitting there. He says, take that stone, it will make you rich. He says, what is it that you got that allowed you to give it away? I want that wealth. So what wealth has he got? Yeah, say it again. Prince, the wealth of the prince. Yeah. So he has got the wealth of this eternal prince, true prince. And the treasures will be eternal also. Then otherwise that diamond and all is of the temporary treasure. So we said earlier, the ultimate treasure anyone is looking for is the subtle treasures. We really want that currency. We want to feel secure. We want peace. We want love. We want happiness. We want contentment. Ultimately, we are looking for that currency. One who is conscious, spiritually conscious, he already is in touch with the ultimate currency. He got it already. That's why he is not a beggar, he is not a victim. No one can take it away from him. The physical world, story cannot change his world. Story is at a level of story. No one can change anything of his world. So he is never a victim, never a beggar. He has got that full treasure. This is such a thing, there are no blocks. Like we all experience love, but our love has got blocks. You know what I mean by block? I can love here, but I don't feel love somewhere else. and as if everything is impersonal, and I love some people. But even there can be blocks. If they do something, say something, my love will be going up and down. In this higher consciousness, there are no blocks. Beggar is not there. It is not give me coins and I love you. That is not there. He is a prince. It is unlimited. And there are no limits. He loves everyone. He loves fully. His happiness is full. His contentment is full. Not based on the limited story. It is super sensuous. And that these are the treasures he has got. So what about the diamond? For him, he doesn't need the diamond. Diamond is not wealth. Gold is not wealth. What is it then? Yeah, okay, it is not wealth. So what is it then? He has got the real wealth. Okay, what about diamond? What is it? For one who is in the higher consciousness, how will he see diamond? He will see diamond as some different props in the drama. You need drama, different things, So this scene right now, it will be nice to keep a diamond here for the program. Is that right? It will be nice if there is a diamond. I'm quite happy to keep a diamond here for this session. It will be nice, no? But another different stone is also nice. This cushion is also nice. Agree? And no stone is also nice. It is a drama. One scene, they're as good as any other scene. But you don't see it as wealth. One who is spiritually conscious, he doesn't say there is wealth at this level. And the drama is empty. Drama, things come, things go. But he doesn't describe them as wealth. And they're nice, different scenes for the drama. So no one becomes poor, no one becomes rich because of this. This thing come, this thing go. He doesn't get into some attachment to this, and feeling of loss. A different scene is, each scene is different, and it is nice. And he lives as a prince. He also knows everyone is a prince. And his giving has got a different value as a result. It is not, it is nicely mentioned. You are a donor, Mahadani. Mahadani, what will you give? Penny? Do you want to give a penny or will you give golden guineas? So Mahadani, you have the option to help others discover the prince, eternal prince. That is a big level giving. Prince who has the option to help, who knows the secret that 8 billion, they all are princes. He knows this secret. And he has a possibility of helping the princess discover the princess. Just one more comment in this connection. One person asked me, one student, I think in Cambridge, he said he wants to become like Bill Gates. I said, yes, that's a good idea. In what way? So he wants to become very rich and do lots of charity. Use that wealth for charity. And he was asking, is that the best option or is there anything better? What is the difference between what we spoke so far today and the charity of Bill Gates? What's the difference? Bill Gates is doing and you are doing. What is the big difference? Main difference? For that matter, any charity that is happening in the world and what you are doing, what is the big difference? Gross level. Big difference is you know that there are princes. You understand? You know that there are princes, as was said, 8 billion princes. Everyone else is seeing beggars, and they are trying to address the problems of the beggars. You understand? Giving the coins to the beggars. They don't know that there is a prince behind all this. So they are making beggars successful beggars. They are trying to solve the problems of the beggars. Nothing wrong. It has to be done maybe, but they don't know that there is a prince behind. This applies to a whole lot, not just Bill Gates. Governments, religions, a whole lot. The big difference that is, starting with yourself, you know that there is a prince behind all this. And that prince has to be made conscious. And that we are turning things right way up. You don't say this is normal, this beggar is normal, the prince is normal. That's why this image is such a useful image for us. We are seeing the big map, eternal prince. And your intervention is to help the prince wake up. Then you solve it for good, no? And then it is a different solution. Beggars, tomorrow you have to find coins again to the beggar. Beggar becomes more successful beggar, it becomes a bigger problem. And here you are addressing the issue of the prince. You want to add anything, say anything? Yeah, the question is it possible for 8 billion to all discover they are princes? The law of the world, law of the nature is like that. Sometimes we see, it must be, I see the river here from the window, but in Cambridge, sometimes across, I see seagulls. They are sitting in the park there opposite. They're all sitting, and suddenly one seagull takes off. And what happens? All go in the sky. 1, 2, then all go in the sky. So same is the principle for everyone. One bird flies, second bird flies, the whole flock flies. So here also, for us, we have to fly. Maybe just who are here, we have to start using our wings and fly. Understand, no? So 1 flies, 2 flies, certain number, critical number, goes to the sky. Then, in this, seagull, it appears others are not even thinking. That's what I notice. 1 flies, second flies. Others are not saying why they are flying. They just go into the sky. This is the psychology of this flock or herd. Same human. Why are we here into this beggar? It is like a lowest denomination in any society is a beggar. And we are into this beggar mentality, entrenched. Regardless of their position and power and wealth, they are beggar. They are as if cursed into this beggar mentality because everyone else is going in that direction. So we change the direction starting from ourselves, and few take to the sky. We change the face of the planet. Face of the planet will not change with new technology, but face of the planet will change with the shift of consciousness. A good question. Any other thoughts or questions? Yeah. Mm. Yeah, 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 understood. Yeah, good image. Mm. Yes. Yeah. Let us create few minutes for experience, and then we create a few minutes for discussion also. And this experience, let it. I might encourage you to draw a sketch like this, and it is important to remind us of the bigger map. One of the big issue why the beggar, we said, beggar mentality, victim mentality, he is not seeing the big map. Mind has become narrow. More accurately, intellect has become narrow. So here, our starting position is we are using the spiritual sight. And with this spiritual sight, we can see the big map. And when we see the big map, we see the whole physical world as a story. We see that this physical world is a foreign world. It is not our world. It is a foreign world. It is a story world. And it is a temporary world. It becomes so obvious. So everything that we saw since morning was a story. We are able to see the world beyond the story. And beyond the story is silence. There is no noise of the story. Beyond the story is the real world. Story is not the real world. We see this world in the image of a sky. Timeless. Timeless, changeless, endless. Home of eternal security. This is the home of the true family. All are like living stars of the sky. All are immortal. Home of the father and the family. This world is beyond harm. Story cannot harm anyone. This environment helps the true self, to become conscious. And for the true self who is conscious, it is normal to be incorporeal. Normal to be immortal. It is normal to be that presence, invisible presence. Normal to be so independent from the story. Normal to belong to that sky. Normal not to need anything from anywhere. Never a beggar, never a victim. It is normal for him. He understands he is very, very lucky. He has got the best. Belongs to the King of Kings. Invisible Prince who belongs to the Supreme King. He knows everyone is lucky. All are from that same family, same home, same father. As we continue on our journey, we remember the immensely beautiful truth of everyone. Thank you. The plan is for the next few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, maybe longer, you meet in a group of 2 or 3, can be the same seat, or if you like, you meet people, someone whom you don't know, you can change the seat and discuss, where is this prince? And where to discover this prince and how to. We are not talking about successful beggar as a prince. Where is this? How to discover this prince? Share about your secret insights into the prince with another participant. You are free to change your seats. It is just for a few minutes, and we'll meet again in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, so how does the prince come out in you? Yeah, how does the prince come out? So what we said, there's 2 ways. So there's pain or wisdom, and you get subtle clues. Like everyone knows what the right thing to do is, but if you ignore those, because that's the wisdom, you have knowledge, what's right, what's wrong. But if you ignore that, then you'll get like messages to put you in the right posture, because you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
And then the messages will get stronger and stronger, the Vinash force, until you learn through pain.
Yes, nice. Yeah. So just a comment, or is there a question?
We haven't got.
No, just a comment.
Sometimes you're put in a certain situation until we learn. And instead of saying, like what I've learned coming through here, is to say, what is this teaching me? Because we end up saying, why is this happening to me? But you need to start looking at it from a different perspective, you know, because things can happen to you. I don't know, for the past 30 years, 33 years, same things are happening. And I'm like, actually, what am I learning from it? So you've got to change that perspective, and it starts with you.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, very good, very clear. It is nice to.
Okay.
It's your turn next.
That's all right.
Just a couple of things. I think there is knowledge everywhere, especially nowadays. It's good to have all this knowledge, but the true prince will only come out, or the princess, when you actually apply the knowledge. For example, you know, you can do all the research about mango. Mango is in season, so you can do all the research, how amazing it is, how beautiful, but until you actually eat that mango, you will never know how amazing it is.
Yeah.
Also, you touched the subject of charity. Sometimes I feel certain charities who feed people, I feel, how is that helping? You know, you can feed a person 1 day, 2 days, but how is that actually going to help that person for lifelong? That's my question.
Yeah, that is where we said helping the prince as opposed to helping the beggar. So once you are understanding this, you are helping the prince wake up. Then he discovers it's the easy answer because he's already the prince. He just need to wake up. But it is like an intelligent intervention. Anyone in that, just you need to fly, that's all. And then others will fly. Any thoughts from this end? Yes. The body consciousness is a beggar. Nice. And Sylvia, want to add? One question that came up is justice. That justice, we said, asking for justice. In myself, I see it as a beggar within me. Some unfairness happens in the drama, in the story. Some unfairness happens, and reaction is of the beggar. Why this unfairness, injustice? If I step back, I discover that there is a prince behind, and prince is eternal prince. If you got, say, millions of apples, that's just an example, millions of apples, and someone takes away one broken apple, is it a major injustice? You don't see it as an injustice at all. If you don't have time to even count your apple. The reality of the prince is his treasures are beyond limits. He's lucky at an unlimited level. Understand? No? Everything is on a big scale. His world is eternal to start with. Family is divine. The world where there is no concept of desire or disappointment. Such is the world. That world itself is this world where there is no harm of any kind. And world with God. This is his life. And no one can change anything. He has no injustice. Only when he comes in the beggar consciousness, he feels this is wrong and that is wrong and why this. He gets into this thinking. So that is going on. Nothing wrong in trying to address it, but let us first see the prince and see how lucky you are. And most of the time you feel nothing need to be done. It is waste of time to think at that level. So we need time to see what you got. That is the thing. Like one with a million apples, he needs time to see what he has got rather than run after a broken apple. We said earlier, the beggar blocks the prince. This is what we're saying. One message that we hear in the Murlis, in our morning reading, better to die than to beg. You heard this? Better to die than to beg. And what it is telling you is, remove the beggar. Don't question it. Just remove the beggar. Stop the beggar. Understand? No? You won't regret if the beggar is stopped. I was giving the example of some charities. They remove the beggar from the community. No begging. So it is a special achievement. So in yourselves, stop the beggar. Better to die than to beg. Remove the beggar. No one will die. Body will not die. No one will die. Just the beggar will be removed. It allows the prince to become conscious. Understand? No? So in any situation, never begging. To have this attitude. Begging in this case, begging for respect or begging for some company, begging for... All this is begging. That is going on. Lots of this. I need this and I need that. That is ego type begging. So you will find that you become free from the beggar, within the system. That is a huge achievement. Otherwise, this mentality of the beggar spoils, all your quality of life. You may have everything, but the background beggar program is running. That just lowers the quality of life. So you won't regret. Okay, you have stopped begging. No begging. Someone throws a coin. What do? You are sitting there and someone just throws a coin. You're not begging. What do? Okay, you tell him, take that coin back. Why are you throwing this coin? Do you think I'm a beggar? Never throw the coin again. So, okay, he says sorry, he takes the coin, goes away. Next person comes and throws 20,000 pounds. What do? Tell him, take it away. Which one has a price? So how did this prince become a beggar? How did the prince become a beggar? He had a price. He did not start begging with a coin. Someone threw 20,000 and you get it for nothing. So it is better to be a beggar for just once. That's the way he became the beggar, no, prince? So right now, if you want to come out of this beggar, become the prince, you will have to be extra, determined. That whether it is 1 penny or 20,000 or 20 millions. The knowledge tells us that there are no treasures in that story. We said, not even a diamond, it is not a wealth. It is not a treasure. In the story, there are no treasures. Whole thing is not worth a penny. £1,000,000 is also not worth a penny, and diamond is also not worth a penny, and even penny is not worth a penny. You understand? Your whole attitude is this. It is a story. In story, there is no wealth. Your wealth is at another level, and that stops you from. One is remove the beggar, but not bring the beggar again because of some bigger coin coming, and you will be successful. So next time I see you, I will see you angelic princess. We'll create one more minute of silence, and during this minute, let us remember, let this image be within our mind, the big map, invisible players. And invisible players, they are just flying past this physical world, story world. Invisible players, they are invisible princes. They are lucky, very lucky. He wins the sky, also wins the earth. Because for him, every scene of the physical world is a gift. It is a story. He doesn't want to claim it, he doesn't want to cling to it, but it's a great story. He wins the sky, he wins the earth. He remains the prince forever. Thank you.